Hello, my name is Reverend Tony Robinson, and I'm the author of the book called A Child's Guide to Wisdom. A Child's Guide to Wisdom. The purpose of this book is to provide a tool for adults, for parents, and grandparents, and guardians, and daycare workers to pass principles of wisdom on to children. When I was around 32 years of age, I attended a seminar, and the speaker spoke about the fact that her father, from the time they were little, they were taught principles of success. And she mentioned that her father was an officer in the military, and that he taught them the principles, and then periodically he would give them an assessment to see how they were adapting to the principles and absorbing the principles into themselves. I thought, if that happened to me, and I had that kind of upbringing, I probably would make much different choices than I've made. I would have made less mistakes. And so from that point on, I decided that as soon as my children were able to speak, I would teach them principles of wisdom. And so as I had twin girls a few years later, and one day I was playing with them, and they were watching The Lion King, and I heard them repeat verbatim every single word that was in the movie. And at that point, I thought, the time is right. I will begin to teach them these principles. And so I began to teach them principles of wisdom. And I started with wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is knowing what to do and doing it when you're supposed to do it, and knowing what not to do and not doing it. I taught them these principles in very, very, very basic language, nothing too complicated, but something that they could remember. And pretty soon, through call and repeat, I would quote the principle, and they would repeat it, and they quoted and they repeated, and pretty soon they were repeating the principles. They knew them. I made 50 principles in the book, again, A Child's Guide to Wisdom. And my objective was for these girls to embrace wisdom as a way of life. Now, it turned out that it was a very good decision that I made, because I could use the principles for correction and direction. So we didn't have to have a lot of arguments and things like that, because we would just always use the principles, and we could always question them about the principle, and then they could then relate the principle to life. When we watch TV, I pointed out the principles to them so that they could make it fit it into life. And so they have grown now. They'll be 28 years of age this month, and the most important thing is they have embraced wisdom as a way of life. At the end of the day, that's what you want. You want your children to embrace wisdom as a way of life and to live their lives according to principle. And so I encourage you to get this book, A Child's Guide to Wisdom. The price is $9.99, so it's not expensive, but I'll tell you, it's worth $1 million. And so for you grandparents who would like to leave a legacy to your children, your grandchildren, leave them a legacy of wisdom, and they'll never forget you. Thank you very much.